This Hello, welcome to Truth Runs Deep podcast. I'm Terryn,
I'm Callie.
and we're here to talk about all things Law and Order, SVU, fanfic, writing, and more.
And organized
So,
curve.
oh, I
You
forgot one more time.
forgot
Sorry,
organized curve.
sorry. Uh, it's a tired, cozy day for us. So
Yeah,
we got to get to work because days go by fast. And next thing you know, it's Thursday again. We go, oops, stuff's not. So,
yeah.
so any I don't know, just cast news. Don't really think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Technically,
well. Oh yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah, you're
Technically,
right. There is something. There is something I thought I remembered.
technically.
You're probably thinking the same thing
Apparently,
I'm thinking. Then.
probably. If not, you can say yours, and I'm going to say mine. Apparently, the Law and Order page wants to bait us all.
That wasn't what I was gonna say, but yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to say it, and then you say yours. Um, they can. They keep putting pictures up on any of their
They really
pages
keep going at it. Like, bro,
of
you gotta
of
be serious about
roll
this
are
things.
literally everywhere.
Exactly. I'm like NBC.
Like,
You gotta be
are
serious
you
about this. You
trying
can't be
to
playing.
tell us something?
Exactly. Like, look, from what we know about them, they don't usually. They usually have a reason. They just don't post willy nilly. A lot of
Well, didn't you say they aired Final Call at Ferlini somewhere the other day?
not. Well, that was an Ion, but Ion does
Oh,
their own thing. But
I don't know.
typically what happens is if there's a gap in between, if there's a guest star and there's a gap, they play that guest star as the last episode and then they play the new one. So
Who
I don't know
knows?
when, so we don't know when there's a gap yet because there probably will be one soon because it's only like 15 episodes and we're at 3 this week. So probably after
And
4, there
it
might be a gap.
started with like even with the dedicated detectives.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Bro. If y'all want, it's an Instagram group. Anybody can get in if you have Instagram. So if you're following the NBC, like I mean the long arc, yeah, anybody can get on it. So just so y'all know that. Sorry, I just had to put it out there, make sure people knew. Well,
I don't know. Sorry, I
how
was
was that?
looking for
Oh,
something.
I was over my. That was like,
I was looking for the
what was it?
dedicated detectives. It said they first started with if being excited about new Law and Order Thursdays was a crime, we would want Barba on our team.
I
And then
said,
they put
oh,
the video of what a role at the SVU 25 event.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, we said, oh, they really are
and
playing us. I'm like, either you're
it,
serious or you're not. You gotta,
like, yeah.
they're
Then
they're
they put out,
playing us.
and NBC put out an article about Mariska and Raul
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
event, both looking
Uh-huh.
glamorous and happy to see
Uh-huh.
each other.
Yes. We
And
showed those pictures if y'all don't remember. I'll
then they've
go look
been
them up
putting
yourself.
a whole bunch of Barson stuff out, and oof,
Yeah.
like, come on, like,
Like, are you
please,
serious or not? We're gonna not be serious.
it's
Are you
coming
serious?
back
Exactly.
again, please. It's been 2 years, please.
Exactly. It's been 2 years. Almost 3 years if you get to May. But that's not uh, that was what I was gonna say, but yes, please, like we
Yes.
want
What
some
was?
serious
What were you
parts.
going? What were you
That's what I'm
going to?
talking about. Danielle's announcement about her podcast. That's what I was gonna think. I like thinking about, but
Yes.
my hold on, it's gonna rub my eyes, but keep my watery eyes. Hold on, but keep going.
We aren't going to be the only ones of the podcast anymore.
My eyes are really
Danielle is
watery.
starting the podcast. Woo!
Yeah, she doesn't have a date for it yet, but like she said soon. So
She said soon. She said she's filmed the first 3 episodes, and it's basically I think it's called all the woman I've been, which is cool. It basically talks about like, her life, other women's lives, and being empowering and inspiring, and diving into, some of her stuff from OC, but basically like her career and everything, and excited.
hmm
Like I could hear Danielle talk like
yeah,
all day.
she's so
Like if
yeah, she's
if
so
her, if her like, um her Instagram posts are very, worded very beautifully and everything.
mhm.
and her humor is top notch. So
Mhm.
yeah, I could I will definitely be checking out for both reasons.
Yes, we are very excited. Very excited. I don't think there's any other like cast news. We usually write this stuff down, but we didn't. So yeah.
No, I can't. New photos, new M photos.
Oh yes, yes, yes. No one knows where that picture came from, and no one has answers on it. But like, man, what picture?
Yeah, God is a woman, and it's
Yeah,
Mariska. Okay,
yes. Like, bro, you have not seen this picture. No one
but
knows where it came from. I just posted it, and then like we're like, where did it come
the big reason why
from?
everybody's freaking out is because
There's that picture, and then there's another picture.
one of the pictures that came out with her in it has the actress that played Delia from Final
Oh,
Call at Fellini's.
Berlini.
And so,
We're like,
that paired with all the Barba stuff is making
we're like,
people, is he
putting it
coming?
together. You can't see me. I'm literally okay. I'll turn my camera back. I was rubbing my. But we were like,
He's
just thinking there. 'Cause I mean, technically, a little bit excited about doing was that like she got a settlement and she was getting some help with her problem. But who knows what could happen after that? But
yeah,
we'll find.
because Carisi was going to, continue trial, and Barba's like, I already started my closing arguments. Do you
Yeah,
really want to go down that road?
like, I just watched the end of the
What
episode, but I
is
just didn't watch the whole thing. And I was like, So we were very excited. Question.
Yeah.
So we'll let y'all know that's episode 5. So like we have a little bit more time before we get there.
Wait, yeah, who knows? We could find out. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, yeah. Fingers crossed. We're hoping, and we'll be able to talk about that when we get there because we have information up till 4. I think up to episode 4 because 3 is this week, and we have one for next week. But we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yes, we're very excited. So we're gonna jump into the shows because once again we're on a time pressure.
Yeah, what show are we doing first?
I kind of like the order we did last time. Let's do let's do SVU first, just because it was kind of
Yeah, I also was dealing with stuff during the mothership, so I didn't
our
get,
notes aren't that like great on the name of the ship because I take terrible notes because I didn't
and
go
I'm
back and watch
dealing
it.
with shit, so I couldn't take notes.
Yeah,
So,
so
Theodus.
mhm.
Not to say that the
Oh,
Law and Order episode wasn't good. The ending was really good, but
no, no, that's not
thanks. Okay. First
what
episode.
is that called?
First SVU is called Truth Embargo 25-2. Truth Embargo. And it starts with Olivia getting ready to take a jog, which is all the behind the scenes photos that everybody had posted.
Yeah,
And we see her, fixing her pants, tying her sneakers, and then the camera shows that she's wearing Maddie's bracelet.
she's still going on.
She was, jogging, looking good, getting a workout, and then she sees the colorful monster truck van,
Yeah, the energy drink thing.
energy truck, thank you.
I was like, what are you gonna monster?
I was thinking of the Monster energy drink, and then it came
Yeah,
out as
like I
monster
figured that's
truck.
what you were saying, but I was like,
So yeah, the energy drink truck. And she immediately stops and she literally yells out Maddie and starts booking it.
mhm.
Nearly gets hit by a car trying to chase after this
Yeah,
van. She yanks open the guy's door while he's in traffic. It's not Maddie, and it's not the guy who took her. And the
and,
guy is like, what is your problem, lady?
she's like, ugh.
And she apologizes and, backs away and closes the door. But then you see
Yeah,
her with her hands in her head, like, this is messing with her
yeah,
badly. Like,
yeah.
she wants,
She's a little worried about like, am I okay? I'm a little too obsessed with
Olivia,
this.
so again, right now, everybody said healing. Right now, she ain't doing great.
No, it's not going too great. We gotta going down slump real fast.
Uh, then we get I think the next was just the intro.
Probably. I'm hungry, so I will be eating chips.
Then
But
she goes to the like she's changed. She goes back to the precinct. You know, the guys can tell something's up. She explains how she thought she saw Maddie, and she didn't. Um, sorry, I lost the duck. Um, okay, yep. Um, then she goes back to the precinct and then, asks for an update. And the gun that they found in the previous episode, um, Finn says the gun was passed around more than little Nicky Carisi at his baptism.
you what passed around a lot.
Which, yeah, is not true, So Nick Carisi's
That's
got a
hilarious.
big family. That baby probably went out, so had a lot of people holding him that day. Meaning the gun had a hell of a lot of fingerprints. You ain't gonna find anything from that. Um, Also, I think you mentioned this last time, but SVU is continuing something like
Mhm.
from last week, which is cool.
So that's not usually their thing unless it's a crossover.
Yeah.
So this is
And
interesting.
then
But
Olivia
they're like
sees,
there's not like a straight like linear path of straight back into it. It's another case, but that's like the B part of the story.
yeah,
The B plot.
and again and everything, yeah. And then we get the transition, like this Olivia sees this tall guy with dark hair and glasses standing in the interview room, and she's like, "What is Clark Kent doing here?" For those of you who do not know what that is, Clark Kent is the alter ego of Superman who, walks around in suits and with his dark hair and glasses. Um,
Whoever wrote that name knew what they were doing.
yes,
They
because
wanted
it
to be
looked
funny.
the guy looked very, very similar.
They said,
Um,
"Yep, this is a joke
we
that
find out
makes
this
laugh."
guy is from the FBI, and Olivia goes to talk to them, thinking, she's gonna lose this case again. And then the guy is like, "Oh no, we're willing to fully cooperate, and you guys can keep this case." And Olivia is like, "Okay, cool, great. For once, something good is happening."
Usually doesn't happen for them.
Well, usually the feds are like, "This
Usually
is
they're
our
like, "Nope, we have case," and then
guy."
they get in trouble for trying to take the case back. But then
Yeah,
they always beat a guy. So
yeah, I know, really. Then they always find the guy in the end. So then we transition to these two women, Brooke and I think her name was Natalie.
yes,
Natalie. Yeah.
exactly.
Talking about their with the first they think that you think they're roommates, then they're talking about their honeymoon and they kiss and everything and it's super sweet. And how they're going to a tropical place, so Natalie's gonna go shopping for a bathing suit. She goes to the mall, finds this beautiful bathing suit, goes to try it on, looking in the mirror in the fitting room, and then all of a sudden she hears screams and chaos from outside the fitting rooms. She decides to go outside and investigate, to which my parents said she probably should have stayed hidden.
Yep, that's the rule.
But yeah,
If they see suspicious, we never go out and look at.
yeah. So she goes outside and she sees all of these guys in black clothes and black masks literally just smashing everything. People are on the ground, objects are everywhere. It's bad. She freezes. She tries to walk away, but she freezes. And then we turn and see this guy, this young kid, who we can tell he's black because you can see his part of his skin and his eyes through the mask.
Yeah.
Um, he sees her, follows her into the dressing room, and that's what we get for now.
Hmm.
Um,
And then they have the SVU precinct outside, they kind of
yeah,
skips to
then the intro happens, and then
other,
the SVU squad shows up, and Bruno shows up,
hmm
and Finn says, "Moneybags, you got here quick."
exactly. He's like, he never has to work. He just comes when
He
he wants
just
to.
does. It's like he's literally like pro bono at this point. I'll work a case when I want to. I have enough money, it doesn't matter. But um he explains how it was like literally just a random thing, almost like a flash
Yeah,
mob, but for a
yeah,
robbery.
yeah.
Um he talks about
That's
how the two
cracking on
kids
these shit.
were like, putting this on social media, and how one of the kids was only one of the only smooth brains to remove his mask to
Exactly.
people's
Like,
face. Um, Originally, they think the victim of the crime that they're being called for is the store worker who says that this white kid, groped her and grabbed her breast. Um, then, they go inside the store and Olivia hears a sound. She goes into the employee only area, turns the light on, and sees Natalie in the corner, shaking, quivering,
mhm. Yeah,
puts her over her, takes her out, gets her to the
yeah.
hospital.
Yeah, because Natalie's staying, they like are at the hospital, and then they asked Natalie what happened. She's like, she doesn't know.
But she knows that a man raped her.
Yeah,
Again, the language didn't say I was raped. She said a man raped me,
which is
which
very
is
key. We talked about this in another episode, but
important. We talked about that. And she wants her wife. She wants her wife Brooke. Um, they were going to go on their honeymoon. Um, I forget who said this line, but then they
it's
all.
Finn. I'm pretty certain it's Finn.
Oh yeah, it was Finn. They're talking, and this Finn says, "Well, 2024 is off to a rowdy start. Two media cases again."
Yeah. Hopefully,
Yeah,
because it's with the SVU having like time cards. It really was like last. It would have started on like Monday. The last time card is the actual day the episode comes out, which I think is kind of creative there. So I think the beginning of the case is like Monday, and the end of the case is Thursday. That's kind of like interesting that the title cards work like that. But so
um,
then like uh Bruno says like some people at
can help them
Terror
figure
maybe
what happens.
might not be Terror, maybe another computer crime one of them.
It's like,
Can't
of
remember
course
which
he
one.
knows all these people.
You want to
Um,
work under a good side when you got that kind of money.
yes. Um, then they go to back to the crime scene, and there's reporters out there already. Actually, no, they leave the hospital, and then there's reporters out there already. And Olivia's like, "Let's go." And Finn is like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, because watching this on a screen is better than being on a screen."
Because it didn't go too well last time they were. It just didn't
Mhm.
go well.
And then all of a sudden, we hear a reporter call out, "Captain Benson, can I get a comment?" And Olivia immediately goes,
But
"No,
no, that
no,"
was
and
so
walks away.
funny.
It was hysterical.
No,
No.
it was really funny. Sometimes this would be kind of funny sometimes. I'm like, that was really slow.
It's like, Mariska, Olivia is done.
Like, no,
No.
when she walks up.
Um,
No, we can't talk about
Afterwards, they
that.
watch the video that the kid posted on social media. They find that the kid
And
took his mask off, so they can go find
I'm like,
him.
right.
They go find the kid. His
Mm-hmm.
name is Travis Butler, I think.
I think so. I can't remember. I know it's
And the
Travis, but I can't
kid's like, "What did I do?" And Olivia's like, you posted a video of it, genius.
Exactly. Like you're kind of
They are
dumb there, but
expensive.
you look at the
And she's like, I hope the clicks were worth it.
hmm
Um, Basically, they're calling. So Velasco is the one who tells everybody, it's a smash and grab. Um, then we go to the interrogation scene and Carisi's there.
hmm
The kids, basically like the kid Travis basically is like, yeah, we did this. So, um,
hmm
and Sonny's like, well, I appreciate the mission of guilt. It makes my life easier.
Yeah. He's like, yeah,
But
we
then he's
definitely.
like, this isn't the crime we're talking about. We need
hmm
to find out who raped Natalie. And he's like, what? Rape? I don't know what you're talking about. And Casey shows him photos and he's like, the kid, you could tell the kid, like, his
Like
demeanor.
what?
He's like, oh no. And he's like, I can't rat out on this kid. I've known him since fifth grade. And then Bruno holds up the video, of the two kids. And he says, this is what you kids call a collab, right?
This is so funny. It's so hilarious. Like
I'm sorry,
these
hearing
like
all
the one-liners are so funny in this episode for no good
yeah,
reason. There's
they
so many
are.
good
And
ones.
hearing all the older people, using all this high tech stuff, high tech lingo is hilarious to me. I don't know why, but it is. What kind of chips are you eating?
Dip style. I have dip, but I almost ate all the dip.
No, I mean, wait, what kind of chips?
Publix, the
Yeah.
regular.
Yeah, I want
I
chips.
needed a
They're in my
snack because I
car,
was hungry.
but
I was hungry. I needed a snack.
it's snowing and I don't feel like going outside to get stuff right now. So anyway, back to the episode. Um, they're talking. The kid's like, I can't give up my friend. And he's like talking about the you know, basically Bruno's bringing up, the food pyramid of like if you help him, it's worse on you. And he's like, where in the food pyramid can I get a Gucci shirt? Dude, you probably already can if you really wanted to.
Exactly.
You have money. And then,
Exactly.
you know, eventually they just I forget if he called for a lawyer or not. I don't
I don't think
remember.
he did. Don't think he did because I think that was a problem later. They're like, well, he didn't ask for a lawyer.
And then well, they leave the interrogation room and Crease is like, well, there you have it. He swears to God.
You know, they're so funny. But yeah, that'll do it. We're as close to
And
we got.
we get the first little Creasy Olivia conversation of the
Mhm.
episode. And Crease is worried that Olivia is pushing herself too hard to not miss out on
I
another
was gonna get the whole dialogue, but I
getting
forgot. So,
nothing
but that's
again.
basically what the conversation was about.
Yeah, we forgot the quotes. You were just like
But that's basically what their conversation was about.
then she goes talk to Natalie again. And the way she's answering,
Yeah,
like you can
they
just
asked her to
tell
like
it
describe
something
the person
something's wrong.
because she
Especially
doesn't mention race. She mentions
young that the
like
kid's young. He
he was
knows.
young, but didn't mention his race.
Yeah, but the thing is, they have security footage of him pulling his mask up. So it's pretty clear
hmm
she saw his face. And
Yep.
then
So
that's it. Then we find out that the kids who are doing these smash and grabs are giving the merchandise that they steal to this guy who then sells it for a lesser price.
yeah, that's why they're
Um,
stealing.
and the guy's trying to cooperate. He doesn't know anything about a rape. And then all of a sudden you see the guy
These
looks out
people running past, and they were like, "You got some
window and
company," and make some kind of funny joke about it.
he's like, you guys might have a bigger problem than me. And he points out the window.
And they see like people
And
out there, and they're like, "Oh,
then Velasco rush out of the room and see all these like kids in masks running in the precinct.
Yeah,
Velasco like pins a kid to a wall, and I was like, "Ooh, you
yeah.
go." I won't lie, it was kind of hot. But also the fact that he's like has enough strength to just go with his arm.
It's crazy. Yeah,
The kids literally just showed up out of nowhere.
yeah, because they
Side
were
note,
just like,
Olivia, like literally they're all going on their daily business, and then side note, Olivia was watching was wearing this brown blazer
yeah,
outfit.
it was
So good. Um, and then Finn goes to another kid. Do you want to end up on YouTube? Basically, while
exactly.
they're trying to fight off these teenagers who are literally throwing things through walls and
Yeah,
smashing glass
some
and
glass and
doing
everything's just not.
um
It's just a mess.
and Olivia is trying to be like, where is my backup? But then she
Yeah,
continues and it's like, everybody put your guns away, guns
yeah.
down.
It's like a confrontation. Sorry, that word got hard for some reason. Confrontation between an officer and one of the, the
Yeah, there's like
robbers.
a young woman officer is like, holding her gun up at a kid. And Olivia's like, put your gun down. And she's like, but
Yeah,
like, it's protocol. You're breaking
it's like they're not armed.
law.
None of these
And
kids are
Olivia's
armed.
like, they're teenagers. Put your
Mhm.
gun down.
Yeah, they're
Like,
none of them are armed either. They're just kind of like smashing and grabbing. They're
yeah,
not
it's like
like actually they weren't stealing anything from them. They just kind of tore up
the
stuff.
pre the precinct can be fixed. It has before. One
Yeah,
of these
many
kids gets
times.
shot and dies.
I have a
That's
problem.
that's a much, much bigger problem.
Yeah, it'd be a big problem on
You
them.
you made the point that she might be thinking of the teenager that she shot from
Yeah,
the
I was thinking about because she's like, yeah, because and jumped in. She had to shoot a teenager, and I'm pretty certain she's like, nobody else is to be shooting teenagers.
yeah, no one else is shooting a teenager. Um, so yeah, and literally just that it just like they can't do anything. It just happens.
Yeah,
And the next
some
scene
kind of
we
way
get
they kind of it's just like over. They don't really show how they get it, how it ends. It's just kind of like, bam, next scene, you're
next
all
scene
good.
they're in their messy precinct with paper everywhere, glass. They're literally just trying to clean up the mess. Um, um, Olivia finds the Maddie's picture that was on the wall, a little bit crumpled up on the ground, but it's okay. She puts it back on the wall. Creasy walks into the room and he's like, "It took me 20 minutes to get through security. What happened?"
Exactly. They weren't letting nobody in. It was crazy.
And they explain, and Finn's like, "Well, then they're like, "Where's the backup?" And Finn's like, "Well, the NYPD always doing their best, but they when it's too late."
It was like, well, here they go again, failing everyone once again.
And then we find out that somebody, filmed this smash and grab in the precinct.
Mm-hmm.
And Crazy goes, "Is he stupid?" Which is hysterical. And
The way he
Bruno,
says it is so,
no, an attention junkie. Because this is the kid that they arrested before. Like, is he
mhm.
stupid?
Like, you did
Um,
it again. Like, you just got over this. Like, are you doing it again?
they bring the kid back in, and he's
Mhm.
like, all cocky and everything. And they're like, again, we don't care about this right now. Because all the kids are getting arrested basically, and everyone's safe
Yeah.
at the very
A lot of
least.
them are arrested. Yeah.
Bruno is basically like, if you want to walk the streets without an adult diaper on,
I was like,
you're
bro,
going to tell us what you know about the
I
child.
was like, what a
This kid.
comeback is that? I said, oh,
And we find out that the rapist's name is Jay Watson. They bring him
hmm
in. Literally my heart broke a little because he looked so young.
yeah. Like, I
And
know they say he was 18, but we haven't gotten there yet. He might have.
you
He's
can
not.
tell there is an age difference between him and Natalie. Not that that
Mhm.
matters, because he still did it.
Yeah.
But it kind of tugs at your heartstrings a bit that, Natalie got raped by somebody younger than her, but also
Mm-hmm.
that the young kid decided to rape somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at one point then we get another
Yeah.
Creasy and Olivia
Yeah.
conversation,
There's
and then
a lot of them, a lot of good ones.
Olivia's like talking about the evidence that they have, and Creasy says something, and Olivia replies, "I can tell by your tone you need more."
Yeah.
Then, Natalie finally identifies him
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's at the lineup,
in the
and
lineup.
she's kind of not starting at first, and then she's like, "Yes, that's him." And then the
You can see,
defense attorney and Carisi are arguing again. The movie
and
turns in.
then
It's
he's
like, "Are
like,
you two
"Really,
done?"
Ken?" Well, and then, the only problem is right now, again, the squad is all in the precinct. They're discussing everything. They have the ID. The only problem is there's no DNA anywhere.
Yeah.
And then
Not
Olivia
in the bathing suit, not in the dressing room. They're like,
Olivia looks at the picture and remembers that Natalie was wearing a bathing suit. And then it hits her that there's a hygienic liner in a woman's bathing suit that, you take off and you
yeah,
can't
once you buy it,
return
yeah, you can't
it
return
or
it once you,
take it off. And all the guys are like, "What?" And it's like, my God.
don't know about this.
Somebody put a comment that said, "This is why we need more women in the squad room." And I'm like,
And because
yes.
they don't know anything.
All of these guys, are pretty understanding of most women's issues. They
Yeah,
all
but
look
just didn't know about this one
extremely
thing.
clueless about
Like,
this.
mm-hmm.
Like,
Or like that.
the guys are like, "I had no idea this is a thing." Olivia's like, "Velasco, did you find this?" And Velasco's like,
What?
uh, "What are you talking about?" Well, good thing is they find it. It
Yeah.
has a D. Then we get
Yeah.
a courtroom scene, and they
Yep.
have Leah on the stand and Sunny, asking her questions. And it's like, we haven't had that in so long. It was so good. Ugh.
Top tier. Top
Like
tier
literally
moments.
the professionalism of the two's
Mm-hmm.
interaction was chef's kiss. So good.
Mm-hmm.
She talks about how there was DNA on the liner, etc., etc. The defense attorney then is like, "Oh, so you just happened to find this liner and the DNA." And Olivia's like, "More DNA can always be found, everything, etc."
Mm-hmm.
It basically like explains that, yeah, the liner is a thing, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, it says something. It's basically like, I guess, like trying to lay
Mm-hmm.
little seeds out. Um, then Olivia goes to talk to, I think it was Brooke, the wife.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I was basically consoling my wife while she sobbed, my wife while she sobbed uncontrolled, like she sobbed the night before. And she's like, "How do you do this every day?" And then we
Mm-hmm.
get one of the best Olivia
Yeah,
Bences
see, it's a
Ben's
top one.
had in a long time, and it's very key, especially after everything Mariska has talked about recently.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "My focus, my priority is on healing. So I do what I can."
You're like, that's a good one. Ooh, that's a solid one right there.
Healing for victims, for survivors. Ugh, so good.
Mhm.
Um, then she goes to talk to Natalie.
Because now is supposed to testify, but then she needs to get off the stand. So Carisi asks for a recess.
Oh yeah, she
She
goes
goes in the
to,
bathroom.
she cannot, she cannot say who raped raped her. So
Mm-hmm.
Carisi asks for a recess, and the judge is like, "You got 15 minutes," and they're like, "Okay, what's going on?" She's like, "I can't." She was like making an excuse of like she wasn't sure, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie is excused to the bathroom, or goes to the bathroom, and then we get the Mariska, oh my God, Olivia Carisi conversation, or she's like, I think I pushed her too hard. And then again, Maddie's brought up. And
Hmm.
Carisi's like,
Yeah,
and
she
Olivia,
tells Carisi what happened.
and Carisi's like, I know you. You will.
Yeah, she's like, "Can I ever find Maddie?" I think that's what her question was. And he's like, "I know you. You will."
And then
But,
she's like, you don't think I'm crazy? And then Sunny, makes a joke. He's like, we work in the criminal justice system. We're all a little bit crazy.
mm,
And then he offers to take Olivia out for a drink after this is over, which, give me that scene. That's so stinking sweet. Ugh.
they have a great friendship, and I'm glad we were able to see it a little bit more recently.
Yes, yes, give me the Olivia and Tracy friendship, please. That's so sweet.
Hmm.
Um, then Olivia goes to talk to Natalie, and she's like, what is happening? And Natalie's like,
Hmm.
she can't say it. She was talking to her wife, and they're worried about about incriminating the wrong person. But it's more of we're worried more of it's Brooke's thing than Natalie.
Hmm.
And oh, and then Carisi joins the conversation, and Natalie's like, I can't, like, he looks so small in his suit. And Carisi
Hmm.
goes, this is the hold on, what are you saying to me?
It's about the next episode.
Oh
We'll talk
yeah, the
about that
next
in a minute.
episode. That guy.
Mm. This is the first. He says the first. This is the first time I've had a case local on me because of tailoring.
Taylor. Yep. And then Natalie explains how when she was younger, her parents fostered a lot. They fostered think they said a fostered
Hmm.
from Haiti or Africa. I don't
Hmm.
remember. And they were in a convenience store one day. And she,
Hmm.
joked around and like, dared him to steal a pack of gum. The police were called. Natalie
Hmm.
was left. Natalie basically got a warning. Her
Hmm.
foster brother was arrested and had to spend the night in juvie. She was so from that on, like that thing had stuck with her. She regretted it. She felt guilty for the
Hmm.
rest of her life.
Hmm.
And Natalie and Olivia's like, Natalie, Jay Watson raped you.
Yeah,
And
when she's
she's
like, you can't
like,
really like let this slide because you feel guilty.
yeah. And Natalie's concerned because the kid is a teenager. She knows if he goes to jail, he won't be
It's not gonna
okay.
be good. It's not
She
gonna
can
be
go
good.
to therapy and, recover from this or try to
Hmm.
recover. And Olivia's like, I get it, but you're doing the wrong thing for the right reason. She's continues and said, he saw the chance to victimize you and he took it. That's the thing. This kid,
Hmm.
teenager, didn't have to do this, but he saw a chance and
Exactly.
decided to do it.
Exactly.
And Olivia
There are
continues,
consequences for your actions.
yeah, Olivia continues and said, real, you're right, real Josh.
Go. We're back.
All right, we're back. We have snacks.
Hmm.
Let's go. So, again, where did we leave off? Yes, Olivia was saying that yes, you're right. Real justice should have rehabilitation because it is, especially for young kids who like do this and are like basically they do it. If obviously they have malicious intent, then
Hmm.
but like I don't know, help them so they're not their life isn't fully.
Completely destroyed. They're sure they have to be accountable for their actions, not their whole lives are destroyed forever because they made
And
it. Yeah.
um, Olivia says, "I'm not asking you to trust the system. I'm asking you to trust me."
Hmm. No,
Um,
exactly.
we go back to court
Hmm.
and Priest again asks Natalie, "Can you identify who raped you?" She points at the defendant, and then Carisi says, "Why can you
Mm-hmm.
explain to the jury why you were so hesitant on explaining it before?" And she says that it had came from past trauma due to a familial incident years
Right.
ago. That was, I think she said something about racially motivated. Um, the then the defense attorney goes up and is basically like questioning her about like, all her doubts and everything. And Natalie snaps. This was a very good line. You can see her like getting emotional, and then she snaps and she says, "The only thing I'm sure about, Mr. Carter, is that your client raped me." And it was like, ooh, yes. Nail in the coffin. Yes. Um, yeah. Then we transition to Carisi in his office late at night doing work. And the defense attorney walks in and he's like looking to make a deal. And Carisi's like, "I already started a closing argument. What makes you think I want to make a deal?" And he's like, "Don't hear it from me, hear it from my client." And this scene tugged to my heartstrings too. Jay Watson walks in. You can tell he feels bad. He admits it. He admits he raped Natalie. He doesn't know why he did it, but he knows that he
Yeah, I was
did, and he
wrong.
said
I mean, finish.
he was wrong. He said, "I took something I can't give back.
Mm-hmm.
I changed Natalie's life. Her life is going to be changed forever. And now I guess it's too late for
Mm-hmm.
me to make amends, basically." And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I feel like this is the first time on the show we've seen somebody
Have
genuinely
genuine remorse to what
remorseful.
they might be a long time. Can't remember. There's a lot of position.
Again, we don't know why he decided to do it in the first place, but it's the first time he felt genuinely, somebody's been genuinely remorseful about what they did.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
Carisi, seeing that this kid feels genuinely remorseful, says, "It's never too late. Taking responsibility is the first step." It's like, so basically they make a deal. He's going to prison. Everything's okay. Natalie gets justice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then we get the scene where Olivia and Gracie are talking again afterwards. And Olivia is still worried about Maddie. And Gracie is like, "Okay, we're going to get that drink now after you help me look after some behavioral criminal case files." To which my first thought was, ooh, maybe Amanda
Oh.
wrote. And he wants to show Liv what Amanda has been working on.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally my first thought. But then the scene ends in the elevator closes, they're off to get a drink. And
Yeah. And that's it.
yeah, what do you give this one?
Four.
Same.
People didn't like this episode, but I feel like that's just because uh
Obviously, it's important to talk about the horrible racially motivated things in prisons and
mhm.
everything. But I get it that people are like, "Look, this kid did the crime. He was a rapist." Maybe not exactly the best idea to combine the two.
Yeah, but I mean it's a realistic element, which I feel like a lot of people get that wrong about SVU. It's like they're not trying to like glamorize anything that's happened. They're trying to be realistic.
Yeah.
And it was that, and also I think some people are just mad because with that certain ship we're not gonna talk about has made no progress still. Yeah.
All right.
But the
Next
next
week,
one, Well,
It's
not next
crazy.
week. It's really 4 days from now. It's not next. Well, not even next week anymore. But
We see this guy who's woken up in this like
it's
apartment,
called the Punch List.
and he literally walks in. Yeah, like we see him standing up. He's only in his underwear. He's stumbling around in like a bathrobe. He's stumbling all over the place. He does not know what happened to him. Then they have this like pretty beautiful woman walk in the precinct,
Yeah,
and she's like, "I need to report a rape."
you're
And
like, oh,
Olivia's listening, and then she says,
you don't want it. You're like,
"I'm the
oh,
rapist,"
we're like,
and it's like,
oh, and that's it.
what? Yeah,
Like,
literally, that's the end. So
and that's it.
dealing with a female rape next week,
Which
and
is something
apparently
that
she already
people,
knows she did it.
she knows she did it, but it's always some kind of plot twist. It's never that easy.
Yeah, and then we have the first guest star of the
Hmm.
premiere of the season that, it was mentioned in an article that some people from Olivia's past cases were coming back. And you'll probably recognize this guy as
Yes,
the
he's very memorable. I'm not the one who stabbed the captain with the
pickle,
pick.
the
That's
mushroom
that.
dude,
The
who
Mushroom Man. Yeah, it's from season
mush-
12.
was like
Oh,
mushroom.
the actual definition. The episode says Vincent tries to support a victim's family when tragedy strikes twice. What it actually says, but the pickle. I'm not the one who
Yeah,
stabbed
so the mushroom,
captain with the pickle.
the one whose mushrooms
Mushroom
made
Man.
it like, sick and hallucinate and led Olivia
Yeah.
to being like, not the one who stabbed the captain with the pickle. And then everyone's like, what's happening? And then she collapses. And
Yeah, the mushroom. It's
like,
it's quite the episode. It's season 12 one, I think. A hot
I
minute.
have a picture of him. You'll probably people will
He'd be
recognize him
lucky
now.
at this. Okay. Okay. But we gotta keep it rolling.
Yes. Okay.
So I don't think anything else. So we're gonna move to OC because
Okay. Hang on.
we're eating chip. Both are both having snack time because we were hungry.
And wardrobe change. Pause.
Callie, make this fast because we don't have time. Oh, every single time, like every single week, when I don't think I have anything to do, we're like, all right, we're gonna record, and then we get to it, and we're like, well, we're on time crunch, and then we have time crunch tomorrow. This is, making sure. I make sure our episodes are 8 a.m. Wednesday morning every single week. So if you like the hard work that we do, leave us a rating, leave us a like on YouTube. Um, you can you can like individually comment on Spotify each episode if you want to tell us stuff. You can give us a like on Spotify or wherever else you listen to your podcast. What else can you do? Yeah. So essentially, you know, show us a little thanks for making all this hard work happen for you. Because, we're no longer monetized. So, we're doing this for free. Currently,
Wait,
anyway. We have not got we haven't got we can't play ads. We can't play ads anymore. Don't have ads anymore. Yep. Because Spotify's like ambassadorship program you only have so much amount of time to like get so many listens per episode and so many episodes. Like we were making enough episodes, we just weren't making enough views per episode that we don't have our ambassadorship anymore. So we don't make money anymore. So if y'all want to, listen to the episodes a couple bunches of times, eventually we'll get there. So need like 1,000. So keep listening. You have to get 100 per episode. So that first one, we're so close, like 75. Like just listen to it like a bunch more times, and we'll be there. We're trying to something. I don't know. Show us that you like what you listen to, because we have
the
fun making it.
now we can go.
Yeah, we have fun making it. So Okay, so anyway,
I'm back. Wardrobe
so
change is done. The shirt is on.
deliver us from evil, organized crime. This is a good one, actually. I didn't.
It was really good.
It's a good one.
For many different reasons.
Yes. So the beginning is there's like a suspicious guy outside of a mosque. And like they're just like they do a nice cool parallel. I think they do a really great job at this parallel of like there's a woman teaching in a mosque, and then there's like Bernie she's trying to say the Lord's. She's trying to pray the Rosary. She's trying to say the Lord's Prayer, but she can't remember because of her dimension.
Yeah,
It's really
I
sad.
literally like almost started crying.
It's
I'm like,
really sad. She can't remember. She's trying to remember the words of the Lord's Prayer. She's praying the Rosary,
and
and
we know how important, God and everything is to Bernie. So it's like, oh God, she can't
she can't.
remember how to say the Lord's Prayer. Stop. Oh.
Ooh.
And
And
then,
then like
then look, you know how
this
we
is
feel about it. We
his
give
one.
this
He gets
man
a little bit
stuff.
of a redemption here today. He gets some
You know,
good points today. He
he
gets some
comes
good
in,
points today in my book.
he sees his mom struggling, and then he helps her. Um,
Say the Lord's Prayer. I think she can't remember the deliver us from evil, which is interesting that that's the episode title. He's like, and deliver us from evil. And you're like,
and she helps him. He helps her finish it, and they finish it and say it together. And I was like,
oh,
"Mm."
it was a real. And then there's like this, and that same suspicious guy is
At the end,
graffitiing, but we won't
he-
say what it says because it's kind of bad. It's really bad. So we're not going to say what it says.
but
But
go
it
watch
was not.
the episode so you can
Go
see
watch
what
the episode. It's a.
we're
We
not
can say
saying.
that it is a slur towards Muslims. That's the only thing we're gonna say. We can't say specifically what it says, but
It wasn't slur.
it wasn't a slur, but it was not a good thing to write, and we're not gonna say it
You know
because
what? We
it's bad.
can't say it because we don't want to get canceled, and we don't
Yeah,
believe in it. So go
yeah.
watch the
So
episode, see what
just
it
go watch
says.
the episode. It's not a good thing. And then the community center
And then all of a
exploded.
sudden, the kid who's doing the graffiti hears something, and then
Well, he
like a
sees
camera
something,
shot,
but it comes
and
back, and
then
then he hears,
boom,
and it's like a
explosion.
whole explosion. Really. So
Then we find out that no, it's basically being charged as a hate crime because
yeah,
Elliot and Brianna are at the place, and um, basically find out that yeah, it's not pretty.
yeah, like it.
Next thing we get is while they're
Oh, he's
trying
in the
to
car.
there's
They're
while
about to
they're
go back.
Elliot is in his car and he decides to call his brother. And
Random.
instead of saying hello, the brother's first line is, "What do you want?"
I was like, oh, it's damn, bro. You
Damn.
know,
What do you like?
what do
What?
you want?
He
I
giving
go,
Elliot a
oh.
hard time. Apparently, his brother does too.
No, I said, oops. Not really, I didn't feel that bad about giving me like a hard time. But like, well, someone worse than we are about getting like,
Yeah, and basically, he's like, "Mom wants to see you.
yeah.
She's not doing
She's like,
well."
she called me you, she needs to see
Yeah.
you.
And then he's
Because
like,
at
"Okay."
the end she calls Elliot Randall. But you can kind of see why when you look at her, you're like, oh.
He's like, "Okay,
But,
I'll catch a flight," and then leaves. And hangs up.
mm-hmm.
Then Elliot gets out of the car. He
Yeah.
walks over to another car and knocks on the window.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Reyes, who rubs his eyes like he was asleep.
Mm-hmm. Like, ooh,
Uh,
well, where you been? He said, he got a nice car though.
somebody pointed out he's got I think it was
That
you,
wasn't
or
me. That wasn't me. I said, he got a nice car.
he's
He
got a nice
said,
car. He did. And then my first place was he's asleep in my first thought was he's asleep in his
okay.
car.
Oh,
Uh,
well, if you got busted already, man. Someone
yeah.
else. But no,
And
that's not. You never said why you slept in the car, but we kind of implied.
yeah, but that's basically implying that, somebody found out already and now he's in his car. Um, he
Elliot says, "Are you cold place to spend the
they're
night? Are
talking
you all right?"
and he's like, yeah, I'm fine, basically trying to pretend everything's okay.
It is not even.
Oh, they're outside. That's why I can't remember where the freaking parking lot was.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
outside in the parking lot, and they're parking in the bureau's parking lot where they are. They walk straight in after that.
he can't even go home. He's sleeping in the freaking bureau parking
And
lot.
either he feels so bad he didn't go home, or his wife knows. They didn't really imply which was true yet.
Either way, he was sleeping in his car in the bureau parking lot. Crap. Um. Anyway, then they walk in the precinct, and Elliot walks over to Jet and Vargas, and he's like, "Hey kids, like, what are you doing?" Basically,
Yeah. They were doing some kind of AI stuff. He was like artificial intelligence.
it's like, "Okay, you didn't
Okay,
forget.
okay,
Cool."
okay.
Then
Chill,
this
man.
new officer comes in,
Mm-hmm.
and I like him. He's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Needs a better role model, but he's cool.
Yeah, yeah, he's better role model, but okay.
And he's basically talking about how he's part of the feds.
Nice hate crimes.
Hate crimes. Yeah. Hate crimes officer, how he's investigating this, how it's
Hmm.
personal. It's his community.
Hmm.
His wife was teaching at the
Hmm.
community center the night prior.
Hmm. His wife's also
And
pregnant,
Elliot
so
is
like it was a big deal.
he has a lot of respect for Elliot, and Elliot's like, okay, but
Who are you?
why are you coming? Who are you, and why are you coming to me? And he's basically like, you know the difference between following the rules and doing the right thing, sir. It's
You're
like,
like,
okay,
mm, you're
which is
like,
true. Elliot does not always follow the rules, but he does, for the most part,
have good intentions
try
most
to
of
do the
it.
right thing and have good intentions.
Just doesn't always happen. Then we get in more trouble.
Then Ayana gets a phone call from, actually, no, the kid mentions um,
Mhm.
his
His
commander,
captain,
his captain. And Elliot goes to tell Ayana, and he's like, "Oh, this kid works for Captain Shaw." And Ayana goes, "Shaw?" And Elliot's like, "Yeah, do you know her?" She's like, "Yep,
you
Nash Shaw. We went to the academy together. You can consider us frenemies." It's like,
yeah, they got
"Oh,
willingly
drama,
gonna beat their gut, but they got it. It's cool.
drama. Oh boy, this should be fun." Also, you mentioned she was wearing hoops, which was a great
Yeah.
look for her. Then they have to do the you know, AI briefing.
You know,
Apparently it's a
like,
freaking
oh, good.
thing. And Lyanna's like, "Oh, good."
Yeah, that's Elliot. It's
Apparently
Elliot saying, okay,
everybody's
he's better
already
when
tired of the new guy, but they can't kick him out because they need him.
he's good at what he does now. Can't deny that.
So everybody's crowded around the computers. Jet is looking at Reyes.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
miserable.
also, we've just pointed out she has like these gorgeous freaking black nails on. So good. They literally look like claws, and it's I love it. Um, and then at one point, they're explaining something, and Reyes, you know, he's in his
He's
grumpy air.
awful.
It's complicated. He looks right at Jet, and he's like, "This is what you've been doing all night. This crap. Hold on, pause. Excuse me, sir. You wanted to sleep with this woman. Why are
Yeah,
you calling her stuff crap?
exactly. She was busy.
Ouch."
He probably maybe that's why he was waiting the whole night in the car. He probably wanted
Yeah, and Ellie and Jet looks at him and without missing a beat goes, "It's supposed to help." Yay, tensions are high.
like a little bit his
Which
behind cover.
goes to continue again that basically Jamie was the glue of the group
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot
Yeah,
less tension when he was there,
yeah, they're literally.
especially between Jet and Rice.
Mhm.
Um, Basically, so the AI briefing continues, and the program says that in the first episode, that if Elliot did not move the truck, nothing would have happened. Nobody would have gotten hurt.
Yeah, because the his CI got shot at, in the episode. That's why.
Yeah.
You don't remember people really
And it's like, whoa. Also, this is like the first time we've I think, had an OC episode that's literally like a few days later.
yeah, it's hard to tell with OC because they don't have time cards.
But
You never
I'll
do.
get into that a little later. Anyway, and then Elliot gets up from the briefing, and Ayana's like, "Where are you going?" And he's like, "Well, it's time for me to be unreliable." And he goes to the crime scene, even though it's not their case anymore.
Should not be doing that. So,
But basically he goes to see the new kid, Brazier, Brasser.
I think it's Brazier.
That is Brasser.
I don't know. The light doesn't work in this room, so be in the dark for like 10 minutes. Anyway,
And he's trying to get the spray paint off of the community center.
mm,
And then they find out the kid who did it, and his name is Asher Klein. They talk to him. They try to get some details. He didn't, he didn't, he's like, yeah, I did the graffiti, but I didn't do the bomb.
Yeah.
I didn't kill anybody. And he talks about he heard a gunshot because there was an imam, a leader of the Muslim in the Muslim community that was killed. And he's like, I just heard a gunshot and I went to go leave and then the place exploded.
Mhm.
Um, and then Elliot goes to talk to his mom because his mom is a rabbi, a Jewish rabbi. Um, and this is where my warehouse of useless information becomes relevant because the actress who played his mom was a former Alphaba
Mhm.
and one of
You
my
told me
favorites.
that. Oh,
Yes, I was like,
oh,
I saw her, looked at my screen, and I immediately pointed at her, and I was like, Elsie! My parents were like, what? I was like showing them a picture of her name is Julia Murney, and I showed them a picture of it. Let me pull it up because you'll need to see now.
mhm.
I'll make it quick. I need to
Yeah,
go.
I forget it. Fast. Yeah, 15 minutes.
Oh, that
Mhm.
ad. So that's
Yeah,
her. Alphaba.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and she's basically like, he's a good kid. Like he wouldn't do this,
Mhm.
basically just would do the trying to defend her son. Understandable. Um, then we get Elliot in his car and he calls Jet and is basically, looking at like seeing if she knows anything about the graffiti.
Mhm.
And she goes, aren't you a little too old to be asking about graffiti?
Mhm.
He brushes that off and he's like, how do you know about this? And she's like, yeah, I was around. Like, I can see what I know. Like, I was around. I have my own graffiti.
Mhm.
Of course
And
she
go,
fucking
oh,
does.
of course she does.
Of course she does. So we know Jet is an artist, and most of her stuff was all like, modern and everything and whatnot. Of course she has her own graffiti. Please, I want to see it.
Want to see your art, please.
I want to see the graffiti, please. And she's literally like looking at her nails with the phone in her hand. She's like, I have my own, I might add.
Like, okay, pop off.
Yes, exactly, Papa. Um, and then, Elliot mentions Asher Klein, and
Mhm.
Jet goes, Asher Klein, I don't know that name. And Elliot has a comeback of his own and says, hmm, maybe you're too old to know stuff
Yeah.
about this. And you can see like Jet like pause and be like,
Oh,
am I? Like, but I'm also surprised there wasn't a sassy threat after that.
yeah.
Because if he's saying she's old, that means we're old. So
Mhm. We're all wrong.
yeah. Um, and then Jet goes and continues and she says, question, is this about the hate crimes case we're not supposed to be on? And Elliot replies, answer, none of your business.
Mhm.
Stop talking to your colleagues like that. Excuse me, if Jet is literally trying to figure out is trying to basically, find out if you're doing something wrong because if Ayana finds out that Jet was helping
Correct.
you
Yeah.
when they're not supposed to be on the case, consequences are going to happen. She
Yeah.
does not want
Gotta
to get
stay
in
out of
trouble.
trouble.
Anyway, Elliot hangs up. He goes to a place. Melinda,
Mhm.
the Warner scene. Um, basically, shows all the pictures of the bombing, talking about this material he found at the crime scene. They
Mhm.
um, and Melinda's, explaining things, and she's like, he's looking at the bomb. He has a flashback to what
Yeah.
happened to
Yeah.
Kat. And Melinda says, I never thought I'd put Stabler and squeamish in the same sentence. Are you okay?
Yeah. And I was like, oh,
And he doesn't respond. He literally just hugs her.
mhm. A
And
long
he
hug. Another
long,
long.
a long hug. And she's like, what was that for? And he said he was sorry for not calling back after she reached out after Kathy's death. That he really appreciated it, etc.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, basically, that they continue into like, oh, you thought this guy was killed before the bomb went off. So now they have to, go into that. And then, it was a nice moment, I'll admit.
Yeah. That's why he gets some good boy points.
Yes. But like really? That's the only thing you brought Melinda in for? She can't have a scene with, the only other black woman on the show?
Mm-hmm.
Any other shows right now? We had two, and then they took Shirley away from us. So right now, the only black woman we have is Ayana. Can't give them a scene? No? Okay. Anyway.
We were
Um,
asking for it. I didn't get this.
yeah. Basically, next scene we get is, I don't know, Ayana is on the phone with Shaw, basically, finding out Elliot is not listening again.
Yeah. We're getting
And
into
we
trouble.
see, roll her eyes like, I don't want to talk to this woman. This woman is annoying me. Puts the phone down, goes to her doorway, the little loft, and the camera shot was cool.
Mm.
She is like, she just calls out. She's like, Stabler here? And Jet peeks out from behind her computer, and she's like, he went to JFK to pick up his brother. And Rihanna's like, Stabler has a brother?
That creates a
And we
little
get a little
bit.
like fourth wall break moment. Because then
Yeah.
Jet's like, I know, right?
And
Like
that's
basically
so funny.
now we find out he has siblings.
Yeah, literally this not been brought up since like season 1 of SVU. So like, it was a whole well,
And then Danielle put out a funny tweet. A lot of her tweets were hilarious this
it
episode.
is
This one's my favorite.
makes sense.
She wrote, more than one Stabler. Lord help us all.
Sure. We don't need one. But we have a lot of them. He has 5 siblings apparently. But we don't talk to his
Yeah.
brothers.
We get the first scene with Randall in appearance with Dean Norris, and he's in the passenger seat with his sunglasses on, just,
I
looking
mean,
chill.
very, yeah, very smug, you know.
Exactly,
It's
yes.
really
And,
funny that it's really funny because Elliot just tried not to be irked by it, but it's just
and he literally kept digging into his younger brother, basically. And it's like, he said, oh, I loved having Eli with me in Colorado. You really should have taught that boy how to fish. Talked
mhm.
about his girlfriend. And he's like, oh, have you had the pleasure of meeting her? And Elliot's like, not yet. And Randall's like, yeah, that's because you were on a job. And it's like, ooh,
Oh, was it? Oh, God.
damn.
He,
I,
he, yeah. Randall just keeps just like roasting Elliot at any opportunity. Like,
it was fun.
oh,
It, it's like, ooh, Elliot might not be the worst one after all. Maybe.
mhm.
I don't know.
Like,
We haven't,
you know, it's plot
it's
twist
literally
because we
been
haven't.
one episode. And we still have another one that's coming. So
Yeah,
who knows? Anyway, the next scene we get is back at the bureau, and Jet and Yana are talking in their office. Reyes is in her office. Reyes is at his desk, and the Vargas is pacing
like,
around,
he's trying to learn how to pronounce Jet's last name. What he's trying to
figuring
do.
out how to pronounce his last name, and he's saying literally everything under the sun.
Wrong.
Reyes is getting
He's
so
real grumpy. He's already grumpy. So he's getting real grumpy
very
now.
grumpy because of this guy. Now he's getting even more pissed. He literally puts his hands on his desk, stands up, and he's like, "It's."
He says it
Like
wrong too. He says,
he said it wrong. He said it's sloot makers. And
yeah,
then Jet walks out
it's
of the
like,
room.
no.
He's like, actually, it's sloot mockers.
Mhm.
Which again proves the point that I'm pretty sure the only person who knows how to pronounce Jet's last name is Ainsley.
Yeah, no one else does
And
apparently.
they probably won't tell us the right reason. It's just gonna be coming
Just for
continue
funny, just for
running
kicks and
gag
giggles. She
that
thinks
Jet is the
it's
only one that knows how to say it.
mhm,
And it's like, ooh, and then he was wrong.
mhm,
And he's like, and then he waits till Vargas is busy, and he
mhm.
walks over to Jet's little loft and hangs on her like little
The ring.
bars. And he's like, can we talk? And Jet's like, she's like trying to, do her work. She's like, I don't think now is a good time.
And
And
he's like,
and it's like tonight, Jet's
she's
like,
like,
I don't think
no,
that's a good
that's not a
idea.
good idea either.
And then he says, you didn't the other night.
Whatever night that was, it was recently.
Pause. Excuse
Recently.
me.
Recently.
We're
How long
trying
ago
to
was it
still get
together?
you. You're not. Also, it's like, are you blaming our girl? Like, excuse me. Again, it takes two of you to do this.
Yeah,
No.
to turn on this.
Which is why Jet's next line is so freaking accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's been trying to keep, whisper and quiet, keep this conversation hush hush, because, there's people around. And apparently Reyes is stupid enough to try to have this conversation while
Right now,
Ayana
front of
office, the other guy's at a computer. So he says, well, yeah, he says, you didn't the other night. And Jet goes, don't.
I know, and everybody looking like, well,
Like, literally,
it's.
Ainsley yelling is,
And then you see
there.
like he's like
You
a
see the
wide shot of Ayana being like, huh?
kind of like like
It's just
peeking
so
from out.
funny. It's hilarious because Danielle was like,
And
please use this enemy. Please do. It's actually really.
Vargas is like looking over
And you're like, I don't know what's going
and,
on, but
and literally like Jet is like she knows, like, they heard that, but she's like, she's not done. She raises out of her chair a little bit and looks right at Reyes like dead in the eye and basically says, actually, she says, and we get some more information of how this even started in the first
yeah,
place. She says, if we weren't in DC for Jamie's memorial, this never would have happened. And you're married.
that's it.
Answered my question because I wasn't 100% sure if
Like, I'm
Jets.
pretty certain it still was. So,
So she knows, and this still happened, and you're married. And then slowly starts to sit back down in her chair and says, I cared too much about you to ruin your life.
exactly. Just like, you gotta stop because you're gonna ruin your
And
life. Your wife
too
finds
much
out
about,
about this, it's not gonna be good for you, bro. Your
oof.
wife finds out you're cheating on her, it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, here. Okay, here. First, a few points. One, apparently Reyes is still kind of hooked on this. Jet is trying to figure out how to
You know,
stop it.
not stop because we gotta stop.
But
It's
she
not
knows this is not isn't good.
it's not a healthy
Two,
dynamic. It's not good. It's
it's
just
not. It's not. Two, how did they get from, going to DC for a memorial to deciding,
let's
oh, we're gonna
let's
stay
do the
together?
we're like,
How do you get to that?
how do you get there? I mean, grief makes you
Oh,
do crazy
if
stuff,
she
but
knew,
you know,
also, again, I guess I have another question. Did she know he was married before the
I'm pretty
it
certain
started? Or did she find out
I'm pretty he's always worn a wedding ring the whole time.
because if she
He's worn a
didn't
wedding ring
like
the whole
knew before, it continues the point of why did they decide to do this at his memorial service?
yeah. Grief
What's
makes you do
what
crazy
is
stuff. Yeah, they better keep telling us about it because
but if she didn't know, then
the only thing that kind of makes it obvious is that he wears wedding ring.
after
He wore a
that
wedding
makes
ring.
it worse.
It makes it worse because he wore his wedding ring up until he goes to see her at
Yeah,
her
literally,
apartment.
she didn't have to go see her. Like, she did not know he was married until after, she probably feels guilty as hell.
But apparently,
People don't know. We don't know.
mm-hmm.
And I wrote, well, so far I was wrong because apparently Reyes is following harder, which is slightly weird because
Mm-hmm.
not just because of the age dynamic, but also he's kind of obsessing over her like a lovesick puppy, but in an angry kind of way, and it's not
Yeah,
great.
it's not good. It kind of reminds us of someone else, you know.
Don't, do
But
not,
we're not gonna
no,
talk about that.
no,
Okay, I'm
no,
not gonna say
because that
it.
is still worse from than what is happening here.
It's still worse, but it's still
Because
anyway.
here's the thing, this could, actually be a reasonable thing if the feelings were handled properly. Right now, Reyes is so out of character. It's bad.
Yeah, like
But
we
it's
gotta talk
literally because of the grief and the trauma.
literally that's why they um
Anyway, do you still have to go or can we keep going?
no I gotta when the Zoom ends I gotta go. So
Okay. So next thing we get, Randall goes to visit,
he's talking to Elliot. He's at Elliot's house with
and he's like basically like he mentions he's been going to therapy,
it will be
and
a stable in
we're
there.
like, good. At least one of the Stabler brothers is able to admit that and realizes they need it. And Elliot's like, go to therapy, and he's like, go to hell.
Exactly. It's like at least I deal with my problem.
Like,
When
I'm
you can.
glad you're in therapy, and Randall goes, go to hell.
Hmm.
Um, he wants to help Bernie pay for a new home.
You know,
Um,
like a retirement home, or not retirement, like a nursing home for her, you know.
he seems like, at first glance, he seems like a smug guy,
But he has a
but
heart in
he
there.
seems
It's just
somewhere.
he's in
Um,
there.
he goes to visit Bernie, and she's so happy he's there. And they get into as but then she starts falling into one of her episodes and is basically like, oh, how's Angela? Which is
You
his
know,
wife.
it was
Uh
ex-wife.
Ex-wife, because he's been in Florida for 20 years. Got divorced 2 years ago from Angela.
Hmm.
I saw a tweet that somebody said, what is it with the Taylor brothers having ex-lovers that are named Angela?
No, you're right.
And I was, yeah, great
Yeah,
question.
great question.
And
And then Bernie said something about like
telling the
he was
story
dilly
like,
dallying with the nurses. You know, who?
and Brandon's like,
You mean that? And you were like,
Mom, that wasn't me.
that was bad.
That was Dad.
I go,
It's like,
oh,
great. He not only was an abusive asshole, he cheated on her. Lovely.
everybody on this on with daddy issues.
Yeah, literally.
Everybody.
Um,
We had a whole conversation about that one day. But anyway, we gotta keep going.
so that's basically the end of the scene. And Randall's
Mm.
realizing, yeah,
Grammy's condition is not good.
yeah, like he shouldn't go anywhere. He's realizing this isn't good for Bernie.
Mhm.
Then we get Elliot going to visit Brasser. His first name
Yeah.
is Sam. We find out
Mhm.
he has a child.
Well, his wife is pregnant. This is their they have like a
He has
maybe
a And then he
a
can't get his
child.
and so they have Elliot do it. And it's like, okay, fine, you're good with kids, but really?
The kid's maybe like 18 months. You know,
And he's
a
literally,
baby.
I'm choosing to ignore this scene.
Mhm.
And he's like,
Let's
after
go.
5 kids, you learn tricks. And he's like, does it get easier? And Elliot's like, no.
No.
We find out that, Sam was mentioning before he had a CI. And we find out that his CI is also his wife.
Hmm.
Um, so that happens. The next scene we get is this guy is standing outside
Actually,
his
hold
house.
it because the Zoom's gonna explode. We'll pick it up.
Okay, we're gonna pause for now.
Yeah. Maybe
Come
tomorrow,
back
maybe
when
later. We'll find out.
either later tonight when Terryn comes back or tomorrow. We don't know yet.
But we will see you then.
Yes, for
We're
now.
waiting for the Zoom
Pause.
to. Hello, we're back. It's the next day. No,
Surprise!
we're
No,
back. We said, I don't know. There
okay,
you
we
go.
said it was probably gonna be either. We decided it was going to be tomorrow, or I guess now
Yeah.
today.
I started editing our videos in CapCut instead of iMovie, so I could put like a really funny like the next day or something in there. We'll figure it out. It'll be funny later when I sit down and edit later. But
All
it's
right.
been a day. Also, I gotta put my story, insert my story at this very moment. So I'm going to Scotland in the summertime through my college's travel program. So they had to just like a burn supper tonight. So we had like food and then we tried haggis. And that was an interesting experience, to say the least.
If
We
you
were
don't know
like,
what that is, Google it. But
yeah,
prepare
go Google
yourself.
it. Yeah, I tried it. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I had myself feeling like I'm gonna
Told
do it.
My
And
mom,
then I,
my mom what it is after I told her that you tried it, and she's like, "What is it?" And I told her, and she's like, "Okay, that's enough."
yeah, we were like, if this comes in there, maybe the authentic might be even better, but at least we tried it from the dining, which is hit or miss most days.
Yeah,
So,
it really is though.
Yeah, diamond balls be like, is it really good or it's really bad? And you never know until you sit down with it. Anywho, that was the story for today. Back to work. We were at
We were
we were
like
talking
in the middle of organized crime when we had to
stop, I got a thing to
pause.
say to you too. We were talking about we were at Bashir's house at Elliot's at Bashir's house, we just home with the child and all
You
that
know,
stuff. And they were talking about his wife
and then you
Bashir's
know,
wife is with yeah,
part of the internet was freaking out because it's like, oh my goodness, who is this child that Elliot is holding?
or like bro.
It is not
I said that before. I was like, it's probably this detective. We didn't have a name yet. This detective probably is
and
what I
yes,
said.
right. It has nothing to do with his family or
Keep it
Olivia.
doing.
Or anything
Please
like
stop. Actually, do whatever you want. I don't care. But the internet's the internet. But I don't. Mm,
All right. Anyway, then we transitioned to like the scene in the
the
hospital
hospital.
parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy is like standing outside of his car.
As an officer fixing it or like
And
about
like
to.
and the officer's like he's like he signals over an officer and he's like, hey, something's wrong with my car. Can you help me look? Officer opens up the trunk, looks in, the guy holds up like a giant like, pipe or crowbar or
Yeah,
whatever, and you know,
yeah.
the
Smacks
guy
him.
he the bad guy then takes the cop's uniform to enter the hospital to duty
Because
change.
Asher's
Asher.
under surveillance.
He goes in and Asher
Mm.
immediately recognizes him as one of the people he does, graffiti and stuff.
Shady business. Question mark,
And
question.
the guy is like, "Oh, don't worry, you'll be fine." And he like puts
Some kind of
a
drugs into his
kind of stuff
IV and
in Asher's body and then leaves. And then we find out Asher died.
yep. You're like,
All
oh,
right. Because then the next scene we get is um
Bashir's
Captain
family and oh no, you're right. I'm skipping slides, but you're right. Keep going.
Captain Shaw arriving to the crime scene with
Yeah,
the cop who was head was bashed and everything.
yeah. He's in
And
the trunk.
Ayana and Elliot show up, and then Shaw and Ayana talk, and you can tell
Mhm.
it's like on like it terms.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Ayana,
because
yeah,
Captain Shaw kind of like, this is your fault. You let your detective
yeah,
do
Shaw
whatever he was doing.
like, oh, we should work on this together, and Ayana's like, no, I don't
Mhm.
think so. Like,
Mhm.
I think she said something along the lines of like, you wouldn't have found this
Mhm.
with
Yeah. Hmm. Oh no. Did your internet stop? Did my internet stop? Okay, we're good.
but no,
We're
we're
good.
here.
Okay, we had like a pause. Anyway,
Anyway, and then after the conversation with Shaw, she ducks. Oh my God, ducks under the criminal tape, and she says,
mm,
"God, that's so good." Oh, anytime Danielle, I was like,
she was
Danielle.
like, oh.
Yes.
Danielle tweets were hilarious.
Um, they investigate the crime scene. Then they find out Asher died, so Elliot has to,
Talk to his parent,
get
his
that.
mother.
Because the next scene that they get is Sam and Stacy at um Asher's mom's house, and they're sitting in Shiva because that is what Jewish people do when they have a family member pass away. And Elliot goes to,
Give his condolences, I guess, sort of.
visit and pay his condolences, and the mom slaps.
Yep.
She said, "You said you helped him." And I put this on Twitter, and I was like, "This is going to be incredibly niche, but I can now officially say that I've seen an alphabet slap Elliot Taylor."
Mm-hmm. Well, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the mom was angry, but they literally didn't know.
Yeah, they did their job.
Then we go back to the bureau,
Yep.
and Jet is wearing this really cute pantsuit
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
to die for. And then it's they're talking about like I think
Um,
it's a program or like a thing.
they're trying to track the people down, track the bad guy down, but they don't have then they go off. So what they did was like phones have what's called that IMEI. I forgot what it stands for. I was gonna write it down. I
Yeah,
forgot.
well, I was, was not typing fast enough, but
Yeah.
Jet says it's geek speak for. I think I was hanging on the fact that Jet just said geek speak, so
Oh,
it's geek
hold on.
speak for international something something
Hold on. I'll just
something
Google
something.
it. International Mobile Equipment Identity.
Yep,
Happening.
sounds
So
about
all
right.
like every phone has one. So like anytime you buy a phone, that number is on there, so people can track those numbers.
And then I forget what she said before this, but then Jet says it's totally sus.
I don't remember it.
If I thought anybody was going to say that, not Jet.
Yeah.
I love that she's trying to, like use like I don't know,
It's great.
certain lingo,
Cool.
probably just for herself, but
Yeah.
also like it confuses the rest of the
It confuses the old people.
squad.
She probably does it on purpose to confuse the old people.
Exactly.
To go, huh?
And,
She's like,
and she says it, totally deadpan, monotone.
mm,
It's totally sus.
mm,
All right. So then they have Ayana, Elliot, and Reyes go to investigate the
they
tracking because
finally,
they found
yeah, they
that
found
they're
it.
looking. And I put what? Still no Jet in action
Oh,
because
next
they should
week,
back
next
at
time.
back at the bureau, still with Vargas,
Mm.
watching everything,
Yeah, but we
tracking.
get some next time.
Next time, yes, we'll get to that.
We'll get to it.
And we see that
Mm,
Reyes has a body cam because they show a camera,
mm,
and in the corner, it says Detective Reyes.
mhm.
Uh, Bashir is there too. They find a guy. They find the phone, but the guy, his like neck is slit.
Yeah, he's dead. He's very dead.
Yeah, he is very dead. And they're like, okay, we find him.
But there were
Cool.
two guys. They're like, there's two guys. There's only one guy
Yep.
here.
They find another guy. And then, they all of a sudden they hear
The
Jet
beeping.
talking, and she's like, guys, the phone is still like, dinging or
Mhm.
regis registering or something. And then they show the phone, and Elliot looks at it closely, and he's like, that's not a phone, that's a before he can even finish his sentence.
Yeah,
Explosion!
explosions. You're like,
And
you went crazy.
explosion! And
Yeah.
action scene because he immediately picks up, like almost picks up Ayana
And
and
like they roll
takes
over this
her
table.
with him
Like they like
over the
roll
table
over this table, and
to,
it's like
block her from the
from the
bomb.
blasters, and yeah, we're like, whoa, that's crazy.
Okay, so we still don't like you, but thank you for saving Ayana.
Yeah, that's about it. It was kind of wild.
Thank you. That's it.
Yeah.
And then
Then
after
Elliot goes on.
they are like, you look like crap and smell like a
Oh,
chimney.
that's no, that's from his brother. That's what Randall
Oh
says.
yeah, his brother. Right.
He gets in the
So
car. He's going
they
home.
wrap that up. Everybody's good and safe, and they have the next part of their investigation they have to deal with. Um, Danielle put out like a tweet of how like
We
their
thank the
stunt
stunt
doubles
double.
are
We thank the stunt
because
double.
stunt doubles did this. At least they're not having them do it because
Yeah, we thank the stunt
seen we've
double.
seen them do their own stunts, but yeah, save the explosions and jumping over tables to
The professionals.
Professionals,
Safety
exactly.
first. Safety
Yes.
first.
Okay. They wrap up the case, and Elliot goes back home, and we see the exterior of his apartment, and I didn't even think it was an apartment at first. I thought it was like a warehouse
And we're like, oh,
apartment. And he sees his brother, and yeah, the brother's like, "You look like crap. Smell like a chimney."
I was like, roast him at every opportunity, like every opportunity.
That's what, if I was Elliot, I'd be like, "Yeah, I was in a bomb explosion," and
Literally
then
just,
just wait for response.
and I'd be like, I was
Um,
doing my job. The bomb went off. I saved my coworker, you know?
yeah, literally.
A little
Rand then
appreciation
goes
today.
on to continue and say that he had a nice time with Bernie. He had a nice time with their mom.
Hmm.
Um, and he like pauses mid-sentence, and Elliot's like, "Were you going to say you were glad to see me?" And Randall says, "No, Mom is glad to see you." Oh wait, no.
Or the
I
other way
think they
around.
swapped that.
Other
Other
way
way
around.
around.
It was the other way around.
Randall
I was like,
pauses, and Randall's like, "Were you going to say you were glad to see me?" And Elliot replies, "No, Mom is glad to see you." And then I think
yeah.
that's the end.
Yeah, they go in the house and in the apartment, and that's it.
Yeah. All right. So Terrence slightly mentioned it already, but next week I was like, "Where's Jet in action?" Next week they show. I literally don't remember the first part of the trailer, but I do remember she's walking through like this like market or grocery store with her
Hold
bulletproof
on.
vest.
We'll watch. Oh, so like the bad guy has kidnapped a child. And
Oh,
that's the first part. Well, they show him with like a sniper rifle, and then he's
oh,
kidnapped some child, and then there's Jet and walking.
that explains why Jet's in action. We know Jet has a soft spot for children. I
Oh,
forgot
what's her name?
that there was a child involved.
Her child has been kidnapped, and then like they're trying to
Yeah,
find the kid.
have Jet walking through this market with her bulletproof vest on and her police badge held up. But what I pointed out to Taryn, because I look at the small details for certain things, um, is I'm curious if she was going undercover prior to this because her hair is slightly curled. It's pinned back with like this like silver barrette, and they have a lot more like softer, elegant makeup on.
Hmm.
Like, still in Jet style, but definitely not like her everyday thing. So curious if there's some undercover stuff going on again.
It says,
Um,
as Stabler and Officer Bashir track down a missing father and son who could lead to the answers they need. And then it says, after an undercover operation goes sideways, Bell relegates Reyes to death duty. Stabler
okay,
reunites with his younger brother.
so that answers my question of yay, undercover operation. We don't know what it is, but apparently Jet's going undercover again, and it doesn't go well because Reyes,
Gets death duty.
he's angry. Not
Yeah,
that he
he's
killed,
literally,
he's
no,
angry still. Um,
he's like
because
smashing up stuff, and you're like,
one of there's a clip next of like they show him literally in the back of the market with a baseball bat,
and he's smashing some.
smashing shit. And then they show Jet trying to arrest somebody, and she jumps and she flinches because she hears him
Yeah, he's like
smash.
2 feet from her smashing. And we're like, you good?
Here's the thing that I want to say about that. Concerned how Jet is going to feel after that because like we don't know if the anger is because of the operation
Or in general, or about
or his personal life right now. And I'm worried for two reasons. One, depending on if they've decided to stop the affair or continue the affair, she's going to be like, I don't know if I want to be with you if you're going to be angry like this.
Mhm.
Two, she might be wondering, did I do this because I
Mhm.
wanted to stop it? like from context clues right now, he doesn't have his family.
Yeah, that we
So
know of.
Jet is all he has, and Jet
Mhm.
is kind of shutting him out too. But she's trying to, prove she can still do her job and not let feelings get in the way. If there are any feelings, then
Yeah.
yay. Also, we get to see Jet arrest somebody, so that's fun.
Hmm.
All right, what do we
It's
do with
called
this
it's
episode?
called The End of Innocence also.
The end of
Just
what?
The End of Innocence.
Okay. Also, how does the younger brother end up in this?
Exactly. Well, this is, I mean, this was an arc from a while ago that like he might be the one that has some shady deal. One of them has some shady dealings. You know, like, can't remember
And
which one
the, the
because
one
they put
who,
those episodes out like a month ago.
the brother who's played by Jamie Gray Hyder's husband, that I can't remember his name right now, Michael
Can't remember.
Trot
Trotter?
Trot
I think it's Michael Trotter.
Trotter,
Yeah, but it's Michael Trotter.
also played Muncie's brother. So apparently
Mm,
playing two
yeah.
people's because I
So
don't
that
know
we're like,
why.
I don't know.
I
They
don't
should
know.
have just thought about that one there,
And I
just
was like,
because it wasn't that far apart, and that's something we should have thought about that one.
exactly. Like you're
We should have
going to
thought.
have, even if people, weren't paying attention, all that, well, that you're going there, people like us and other
Be like,
fans are
I
going
can't
to
unsee it.
be like, that was Muncie's brother. What are you doing?
Especially if
So,
you just like dropped out of nowhere, but like, I'm gonna try watching this show, and you're like, you know,
yeah. Okay, what do you give this episode?
and four.
I give it 3.5.
Yeah,
So,
it's better. They're getting okay.
yeah.
I mean, like we're not kind of episodes aren't
It's
necessarily good
just
all the
our seasons, but we're getting better.
we're getting better. Because sometimes
Like,
I feel like I'm dragging
yeah,
myself through the ringer watching this show. But it kind of
like
feels almost like it almost feels like this is like we're not coming. Like we say they've been saying this for like years that like we're just kind of feels like it's on his last leg. You're kind of throwing stuff against the wall, seeing what I do
we
is
need to
gonna
do
work.
whatever it takes to keep us going. So here's this and this and this.
Just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing they don't keep their attention.
Yeah. Like, yeah, because pretty sure there was like a lot of people who were just like, oh, organized crime is back. Cool. And then they
We're,
threw in the Jet and Reyes thing, and now everybody's
we're like,
fully
oh,
again.
yeah, exactly. They knew what they were doing. They said, let's toss this in, see if we get some clicks and views. That would do.
Yeah. So here's the thing, because was thinking about it the other day. Am I still devastated about what happened during the season finale? Yes.
Oh yeah,
Am I still
definitely.
hoping somehow there's a plot twist?
Yes.
Yes. But, I literally said, I've said before, when they do horrible shit like this, that, I'm done with the show.
But I can't
I
quit.
can't not watch the
There's
show.
a chokehold on us. We
They
can't
still
stop.
have 3 people on the show that we care about, especially one who has noticed us. And we're reaching the anniversary for that. That's fun.
Yep. It's this weekend.
Yep. This weekend is going to be a year since Ainsley messaged me saying they listened to our podcast
A
in
punch
February.
drunk episode. But we haven't hit that amazing quality of punch drunk still yet, once again. But that's okay.
All right, so that's organized crime.
Yeah, I think we're done with that.
Cool.
Ooh, I guess we'll
How
talk
much?
about that in a minute. I guess. At the end, the new picture, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that at the end, though, so we can like the one that we just talked about in the group.
Oh, I thought you were talking. It was like another organized crime
No, no, no,
picture.
no. I don't got any. I don't got any of those yet. Sorry. They probably put those out tomorrow or like Wednesday.
I was like, what are
Literally,
you
they
trying to?
put the episode out like after I put our episode out. I'm like, well, I guess we just hold on, folks.
Also, the fact that organized crime is putting out all their pictures before the other 2 shows, like
Exactly. I'm like, bro.
really trying to get like
SVU was SVU was like dead last every time. Like the day of it. Sometimes it's like the day morning of. I'm like, oh, I was like, catch these pictures like now because we can't ever get to talk about them because the episode is already up. Anyway, well, the mothership. Here we go. It's called.
I get
Um,
a order change. Pass.
okay. Okay. So, Mothership. It is
Yeah.
2023, called Human
Human and
Animation.
um so it starts with this guy getting $2,000 from an ATM.
Which is a lot of money
We
to
later
get
find out
to.
his name is a lot of money. It's like sometimes like the limit in
Yeah. Sometimes, like,
ATMs.
because sometimes if you get a certain amount of money, your bank makes you like you have to go in. You can't get it from your ATM. So,
We find out this guy's name is um Evan Marks later.
mm,
But he was listening to music and then he heard a gun like clicking sound,
yeah,
turned around,
dead.
and that's it. Then he
He's dead.
and the guy then then Riley and um Shaw show up to the crime scene. They both like got like coffees in hand.
It's
And
early,
Like
late.
Riley's like, beautiful morning, isn't it? And Shaw's like, I love a morning. 4 a.m. is still last night.
Sure is.
Which
It's not
accurate.
more.
So
I mean, I can't. Maybe 5 a.m. Wednesday morning, but 4 a.m. is
yeah.
still late.
Yeah, no, it's still you should be
Go back
sleeping,
to
but
y'all.
crime does
I used to be a
sleep.
crazy stay up late person. Man, it was wild.
Um yeah, they investigate, they find the guy is like this head of like this really big.
Tech company.
They go back to the place, see if he's had any enemies or whatever. And he turns out he's been working with this like rapper whose name is E-Ticket, which
Yeah.
honestly
Mm,
kind of a cool name.
mm. I didn't know what I was like. What is G-Tick? And I couldn't remember.
Rapper. It took me a second to remember what it was too.
That's cool, though.
It was,
You know,
I not
Thursday to Monday is a long time. I mean, like, so we have to take notes. Otherwise, I'll be like,
what was this? I was not fully present during this episode, so
bear with us. We were trying to remember. I watched it, but I was like, I don't remember what I was doing. Not paying attention. I should have just watched it earlier, but I forgot to take naps. um, there's a chase scene.
they like
There's nothing.
investigate, go to talk to G Ticket, and then he sees the cops. He takes off his headphones and starts to run. So
Running.
it's
You
like
gotta learn. Gotta stop running.
chase scene with Riley.
Mhm.
Um, they still have chase scenes even though Cosgrove is gone.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what.
Shaw tackles him. I'm pretty sure.
Probably. That's how it goes.
Yep. They arrest him. Um, and they ask him. They bring him back to interrogation. They're like, okay, what's the issue?
What's
Why
up?
were you two arguing, etc. And he's like, it's a woman. And then it's literally always a woman.
Oh, please, please,
Turns out,
can't
like
spoil it.
it had to do with their the girlfriend and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they like go to talk to Lacey, and then she's like, yeah, Mark and I were, this one named Lacey, and they're like, she's like, Mark and I, yeah, we were involved. And then her husband walks in.
Like,
Turns out they have, like an open marriage or something.
yeah,
So her husband's like, so her
yeah.
husband, um, then they find out
They were
that the
like hanging out with a
company,
lot of. There was like a party, and they were all like conscious of this party.
yes, everybody was, it was wild and crazy.
Everybody was with everybody at this party.
It said that the woman that the guys were fighting over was an AI woman named Eva.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Because
they
they're like,
find him, and they find the guy, his name is Ben Stafford.
that is the same. At first, I couldn't tell, but it was. That's correct.
Yeah. And then through some investigation, they find out that Evan Marks had laid off 200 employees in his company. To instead, they decided to use AI. So
Yeah,
200 people off and were
it was.
replaced.
a lot of places expensive. New York's so expensive place to live. You need a job. If
It's
you,
happening in our current world, but they were not happy at all. Um, I was like looking at my nails and I couldn't figure out what color it was. They're pink. Okay. They find the gun behind the murder weapon behind Ben's house.
yeah,
He also has Adderall.
which came off bought from somewhere. She,
When the defense is like he had Adderall withdrawal, that is why he committed murder.
yeah, that's the argument later. But because you can buy anything off the street. You don't need a prescription.
Um,
Yeah, and they're talking. Yeah,
but yeah, they had an interrogation scene, and Shaw and Riley got a confession from him.
yeah,
That
and he was like, "I can't get you." Riley was like, "I can't get you Adderall, but I can get you some aspirin. That'll do for now. But you can't get Adderall in here. I'll get
and
you some
then
aspirin or
the
something."
defense attorney was like, he was going through Adderall withdrawal. He didn't know what he was saying.
Yeah, and
Um,
it kind of became a quid pro quo.
Unintentional quid pro quo. I'll get you out of here and get you something to help with it if
If
you
you
tell us.
tell us, yeah, and they were like,
So the judge claims that it was an unintentional quid pro quo, meaning that the confession was coerced and inadmissible, so it is out.
yeah, you know,
Then we meet this new like guy.
yeah,
He gave
they were
out.
kind of looking because they were kind of looking for like who would be angry enough to be involved in this.
His name is James Sawyer, who is now being accused and saying it was murder for hire
hmm Because he became the CEO after the first guy died.
company. Basically, he was hired to Ben hired him to kill Evan.
hmm
They have Riley testifying for the first time. Eh, I don't
hmm
remember that.
It went fine, I think. I don't really went bad.
We had Ben testifying, and then he became turns out that it turns out he became the fall guy because he created Eva, the AI thing.
hmm
And they show that James actually next Sam and Nolan are trying to figure out like what to do, and they got James gives them a video of Ben shooting Evan.
hmm
Uh and they have the scene of Nolan in this like white button down in his pants.
Like he said he's in sleep or something. He just kind of came forward instead.
He didn't sleep because he was watching the video and he's like looking at it, and um he doesn't think this video is real. And the thing is, no one could figure it out.
Yeah,
I wrote in the notes that our girl probably could, but I
you know,
digress.
we
It's
didn't get
Violet.
to.
Violet, their law and their tech expert could not
Mhm.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Um, they think it's a deep fake, that it wasn't actually, a thing.
hmm
And they aren't sure if they can win without the video, but Nolan is concerned that if they show the video and
that the prosecution thinks it was true,
true,
but they don't know
but
it's true.
they don't know it's true, then it could be putting an innocent guy in jail. And Taryn and I both discussed it and we're like, yeah, we think Ben is actually innocent.
Yeah, but we'll never know.
Well, they show the video. Ben tries to explain that that's not real.
Yeah,
Nolan has to continue and be like, well, you can't just make. All
we're
right, so
almost.
before Zoom rudely cut me off,
Yeah, we're literally almost done.
Stafford is trying to explain that you can just make a video up, that
Yeah,
this video isn't
that's
real.
what AI does. You literally type in whatever you want, and look
Yeah,
if you
and
compile
it's like it's right in front of us. We see it. It's right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's real.
And then Stafford is found guilty, and you can see he's in shock.
Mhm.
Nolan and Sam don't feel too happy about this victory, if you can call it. I still don't think he did it. Then Nolan turns and and Sawyer's standing there, and he gives Nolan a little nod because earlier in the episode he's like, make sure the bad guy or the villain is caught.
Yeah. Like, mm,
The look on the guy's face after the verdict was given, I think he just got away with murder,
yep, and there's nothing we can do about it.
but I can't do anything about it. And
Nothing.
Nolan and Sam are talking outside the courthouse, and Sam's like, the right verdict was given. And Nolan doesn't think so.
Yep.
Like this is gonna change court cases for like how are they gonna know if evidence they
If it's
get
illegal.
is real? And that was the end.
Yep.
Next week though, good. Next week,
Mm,
or I guess 4 days from now, looks
yeah.
good. They get
It'll be
a case.
tomorrow when y'all listen to this.
They get a case,
It's
and
called
I don't remember what it's called.
unintended consequences.
Yes, unintended consequences. They get a case, and Riley recognizes it as one he did that never got
It says Sean and Riley
solved.
investigate a real estate agent for murder. After they speak with prominent clients, an unexpected witness appears. Price and Maroon struggle to convince the jury of motive and face difficult decisions about their only witness.
And yeah, so Riley's like, this was my case, like it never got closed. And then, it's basically like Nolan is like, what if you didn't get close this? Like, we wouldn't be doing this again. Like, we wouldn't be dealing with like this controversy. And it's
Yeah,
basically like the episode is basically homicide versus the
yeah,
ADAs.
yeah.
And you get
Basically, that's the problem. Is that
literally, yeah. The end clip is Hugh Dancy and Reed Scott staring at each other.
mm-hmm.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
It'll be good, y'all. It'll be good.
All right, what do you
We'll
give
see.
the episode itself?
Right now, it was alright.
Yeah, I give it a 3. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad.
It was alright. It
Yeah.
was all right.
All right. Is that everything?
Oh, we want to talk. So earlier today, not that long, it was like an
Oh
hour or
yeah,
two ago.
picture.
The pictures. So earlier today, it wasn't that long ago. Hold on, I gotta get it. Just hold on. Okay.
So,
Sorry, I'm looking at that distracted. I just sent it to you.
I'm sorry.
This one.
Sucks. I'm
It's this picture.
distracted too.
It's this. Oops, you can't see it because of the weird glare.
A
But
picture of Mariska. So for those of you who
listen,
can't see it,
you can't
because
see it because it's on the phone.
yeah, if you can't see it or you're not watching it on Spotify, what's happening
Yeah.
is it's a picture of Mariska in a beautiful black dress, and she describes that she got a
It's not a dress.
amethyst.
She's in her like Olivia clothes.
Oh, oh, whatever. She looked beautiful. Anyway,
Mm,
she has on a necklace with an amethyst, which is the you said the February birthstone,
mhm.
which is when Olivia's birthday is.
Yeah, and they
So
changed it. That's what it is currently. They changed it one time.
headcanon.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gave it to her. His name and his initials are RB.
Yes, and we can fill the compass goodbye.
I was gonna say that,
Sick of
but
it.
I didn't.
I
I
don't
didn't
care. I say
think
what I
you
want.
should. Yes,
Sick of it.
goodbye.
I'm sick of
This.
it. Never.
And you said it. We're going
And
for.
a day doesn't go past where I'm scrolling on Twitter, which is not Twitter, it's X, but you know. And
It
I see it.
is.
I go,
Now we have a new necklace.
we're just hoping. And what we talked about at the beginning of this episode, we were talking
Our
about the
head
pictures.
cannon.
We were talking about the pictures with what we're
Please,
thinking is doing, but
please, please.
y'all,
I'm
we had
not.
this conversation yesterday, but it was,
I'm
the
not.
beginning of this episode.
Imagine y'all.
begging, pleading.
Raphael
Wait.
Coaster
Hold on. I gotta calculate. I gotta math real quick. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta calculate real quick. Hold on. The episode would be not third net. No, it's 5. So it's not next week because this week is 3. The next
2
week
weeks.
is 4.
2 weeks.
Okay, so that would be the 15th. The 15th. Okay. And hold on. Where is it? Oh my God. Hold on. That's on my calendar because I don't want to forget for story reasons. Where is it? Where is it? I have Olivia's birthday on my calendar.
November
Where?
11th.
Okay, then. You're right. Wait. You're correct. So,
It would be a week and a day after
yeah,
Olivia's
you're right.
birthday.
Yeah. I was like, it was on my calendar and I looked at the wrong week and I was like, I can't find it.
But just
You're right.
imagine
Olivia's
Raphael
birthday.
gives her the necklace and then she looks at the compass and
It's like,
thinks
no.
and then
And
decides to take it
it
off.
leads her to her person who loves her most.
Please, y'all,
I'm begging.
please.
But they don't do it, we'll write it ourselves. Like, I'm dead
Yes,
serious,
we will.
we'll do it ourselves, Put us
Yeah.
on the writing room. We told you, we write the good stuff.
Okay, I think that's everything.
That was
Is
really
it?
it. That's all we talked about. That came up today. So
It literally came up.
yeah,
To-
like an
Uh,
hour ago.
yeah, I don't know if there's anything else or not. So
Mm. Oh, listen. Thumbs up. Have a nice day
I
or
don't know.
night whenever you listen to this episode.
It's
Yeah,
after 10 my time. This is when I
yeah,
get
it's time for Taryn to go get in her grovel under the covers for like an hour. It's gonna be a long path, but
and then night
yeah, no, you're
until
right.
I have to
We
go
go
to bed.
until I have my 8 a.m. class. I should do have to go to bed. Yeah,
But you said that's like the only one you have, right?
hmm?
Take a nap.
I can, but I have
I
paper to
cannot.
write. But I still got paper to write, so I
Cannot.
need to actually start on this paper. I'm gonna do, and then.
This is
But
when
yeah,
this is when I kind of miss being the student because I could go home and take a nap.
yeah.
Now as the
I go to the
teacher,
nap room and I take a nap.
or I can't go home and take a nap until the day's over.
I love a good, yeah, the long day, Tuesdays. So.
Yeah, mine too.
But
Right.
that's all. I'm gonna finish
That's it.
editing.
Thanks for
I put a
listening.
really fun transition in. It'll be funny when people listen to it.
We
When
love
listen
you
to it when
all.
it's finished. We do love you all. Give us a like. I said this in the Instagram. If you still give us a like, leave us a comment. Uh,
Subscribe.
subscribe.
Yeah,
You
we can say that
can,
now.
yeah, you can say that now.
Like, comment, and
And
subscribe. Oh my
yeah,
God, we're YouTubers. What
we
the?
are. You can also give us a rating on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen. That looks good. All those things, all that stuff. It really means a lot to us. It really does.
Please, every time we see somebody else who has viewed our podcast, it means a lot.
And we're at almost at 1.6K. Almost. So
this is our baby. We
it
didn't think we
really
get
is.
that much.
We didn't
So
either.
yeah.
We said,
Well,
yeah, yeah. And there's a lot. Some of them are our friends, but some people we don't know. So this is a high just for you. Thank you for listening.
hello, thank you.
Some people are like, I don't know who you are, but you're tuning in from literally all over the world. Literally, it's all over the world.
That's awesome.
So thank you. I'll show you the dynamics in a minute. But thank you all for listening. We love you all so much. We're
And
gonna
thank you for listening to the Truth Runs Deep.
yes, we're gonna go relax and go to bed. Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yes.